Alright, well, everybody knows that INTPs are more likely than most types to experiment with drugs. That's what everyone's been saying to me, and that's what I've seen from experience, and I'm going to tell you why I think INTPs are more likely to experience with drugs, and it's not necessarily because INTPs are druggies that need coping strategies for day-to-day life, which I'm sure that can happen to some people, including INTPs, but I think it is mostly for the type of information that they get, and let me explain. Whenever you do any kind of drug, it changes your perception, and it changes like the filter from what you see the world. And I think to an INTP, that possibility is kind of exciting because it will change the way you take in information, and therefore by even regular information that you take in every day, it's changed. It becomes something new to try to explain and kind of make sense of, and it changes your body too. So it's almost kind of like an experiment in a way. It's not necessarily the rush of getting high, it's just kind of the almost like the more of the mental stimulation of thinking, which is I feel like is the INTP's drug, is thinking about your mental process. And yeah, just the fact that drugs can change that and basically alter all information you take in, making it something completely brand new, which makes it into a stimulation for logic. And I know it sounds kind of weird, and a lot of people probably will be like, oh, how can you say it's logical? Like some drugs can warp your sense of judgment. I mean, and they can. And some drugs can just make you think things that aren't necessarily true. But I think for an INTP, just the fact that they are observers and they will remember what they were like the night before. And I don't know, I think a lot of people maybe try to find truth in drugs or just an altered state of consciousness. And not all drugs are the same too. Like some drugs are like hallucinogens and they make you hallucinate. And then some drugs maybe just speed you up, and some drugs slow you down, and some drugs just kind of change your perception, and some drugs make you more aligned with your emotions. Some drugs make you more emotional to where you can kind of tap into that part of you, which a lot of INTPs sometimes are not very well adjusted to. And I think a lot of too, like INTPs, like whenever you do drugs, it can kind of shatter your preconceived notions of society and just kind of give you like a different way of looking at things. I mean, I'm not really like for or against drugs in particular. I'm kind of like I don't care, but I'm just kind of explaining why I think INTPs would be drawn to drugs and just to experiment, because I think INTPs are scientists slash experimenters, so they like to see how things are and the truth behind things. And yeah, I just think INTPs are very open-minded. Whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, I think it's ultimately good. But yeah, just be careful. Don't OD and die or something. Like, don't do anything crazy. But yeah, INTPs and drugs, it's likely to happen.